remember asking you a goddamn thing.
So you know somebody doesn't respect you. They listen to reply, not to be understood. They cut you off. They minimize what actually matters to you. They laugh at your boundaries, and then they call you sensitive when you try to hold the line. They show up late, they cancel last minute, forget the things you've told them, because in their world, your time, your energy, even your voice aren't a priority. They're just an option. You see, there are two kinds of people. Those who adjust when they realize they've actually hurt you, and those who expect you to adjust so they don't have to change. You don't need to be disrespected loudly to be disrespected deeply. Sometimes you'll see it. It's just in their tone, in their patterns, in the silence after you're known. Respect isn't what they say when they're watching. It's how they act when they think you'll tolerate it.
The flow insane, take my spot, so the range. Shoot my shot with perfect aim. 3rd degree, that perfect flame. Ain't no sleep, that's the game. Oh, so southern, that's the slang. When they see me, that's the main. Chasing checks and fly like planes. Big old stick, I bought a cane. Flick my wrist and bought the ring. I'm so boss, we're not the same. Paid the cost and kept the change. Now I'm walking Hall of Fame. And I reside in the cloud. Grand wishes with these bitches. Taking pictures with the crowd, and I'm out.
Yo, what up? Hey, peace, blessings, void, praise, and honor to the Most High. I hope all is well with each and every single one of you. I appreciate you for being here. Shout out to my supporters, my followers, my commenters. Wherever you watch it from, I'm humble, grateful, privileged to be able to sit here and facilitate these discussions with you guys, man. Shout out to my content creators, my writers, all that. I probably said it, but I got to keep on reiterating that. That's how deep I am with that community. My first love, first and foremost. You see the title. I want to preface this and say I've spoken about Adrien Broner a few times before, and a lot of people laughed. A lot of people thought that what I was speaking on was irrelevant. It wasn't. And there's a reason why we're here. Let me bring Sid up. I do got a clip that I want to play for y'all. Apparently, your boy can't stay out of trouble. I'm watching him try to get back in shape. I'm watching him try to get fights. But he seemed to not be able to stay out of harm's way. So let me go ahead and get this show started. Sid, what's going on? Good evening. Good afternoon.
Hello, happy Friday. It's quite hot today. Not very bad, not as bad as Europe, but we got some of the humidity, so it feels worse than it actually is. But other than that, I'm doing pretty good. I've just been cleaning up the house. We're gonna have my brother-in-law visit this weekend, so just making things look a bit nicer for when he gets here. And yeah, easy day.
Gotcha. Well, look, I ain't gonna stall it. I'm gonna let this clip play, and we'll go into this a little bit further. Let me give you a little more context with this, because I'm pretty sure you're not too familiar with him. He used to box. He doesn't no more. As of late, he's been in all types of controversy, drama, accusations of assault, hanging around with the wrong group of people. He streams on Kick. He hangs out with a couple of people over there, and they're not the greatest examples of influencers, say the least. Ray J being one of them, and Dean the Great being another. But just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and let this clip play. Getting sued for $830,000+.
You started. Hey, bro. Water fight today. Yeah. Bitch, you gonna be here? You gonna suck some dick? You gonna run on niggas? You too.
Okay, so Adrien Broner is being sued for sexual battery and assault. And a woman is saying that AB dumped ice water on her after she refused to have sex with him. I'll show y'all the footage of that soon, but first let's get to these details. So a woman named Havana Saint is suing Broner, claiming he invited her and her friends to an after party on June 2nd, where he encouraged her to drink heavily. In a lawsuit obtained by TMZ, Saint says she got too drunk to drive home and she took Broner up on an offer to stay at the home where the after party took place. While she was staying at his home, Saint claims Broner tried pressuring her into performing sexual acts with him, including sexual intercourse, oral sex, and a hand job. She says he also exposed his genitals to her and grabbed her hand to try and force her to engage. Saint says she told Broner no multiple times, adding that she told him she was not interested in men and stated that she preferred women. Despite his alleged conduct, Saint says she went back to the house the following day, June 3rd, at which time she says Broner expresses anger that the two had not been intimate the previous evening. Saint says Broner tried to drag her upstairs, which she says she expressly refused. She says she again informed Broner that she was not interested in men. At times during this incident, Saint admits she was laughing, but only as a way to conceal fear and discomfort. On June 8th, Saint says she went to a separate live stream content residence in Los Angeles County, California, where she says she ran into Broner again. She says she became intoxicated and then Broner physically pulled or dragged her from the house and pressured her to come with him to his Encino home. Once there, Saint says Broner again pressured her to have sex with him, which she says she again declined. She says she and her friend stayed at Broner's house that night, and in the morning she was doused with water by Broner while on live stream. She said this act caused her humiliation and emotional distress. Let's run that clip for you real quick.
Cuz, all you do is sleep and fuck and sleep and fuck. Bitch, I'm just holding it down by myself. Oh, ass nigga. Hey, now I'm like, chill, cuz. You started. Hey, bro. Water fight today. Yeah. Bitch, you gonna be here? You gonna suck some dick? You gonna run on niggas? You too. That's what's going on. Yeah. All day. Make yourself useful. Just like you say, you gotta make yourself useful. Some bitch. Just coming around. Remember, you wanna be around it. Wanna be quick. Ain't none of that. You invited a bitch. Stop bringing bitches. Stop inviting these hoes. She made me nut last time. You invited a bitch. Cuz.
Saint insists she and Broner never had sex, but alleges she made comments while on the live stream suggesting that they did, including saying at one point she made him come. Run that back one more time.
She made me nut last time.
she asked another man, which is Dean, made defamatory statements about her when he told watchers on his live stream that she slept with numerous people at the live stream residence. Saint is suing Broner for sexual battery and assault. She's suing both Shabazz and Broner for defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress. She's also suing the streaming platform Kick for negligence. We've reached out to Broner. So far, no word back. Now, I know the first thing people are going to say is, why the hell she kept coming back? I'm going to tell you what. This is the reason why she kept coming back. She was trying to find some type of way to benefit, either through clout or through the money. And we all see the way that these dudes been moving in the past couple of months, man. It was a matter of time. Once again, luckily for them, this isn't a criminal case. There very well may be a settlement right here. But this was an avoidable situation for that girl, 100% avoidable. But that does not remove the responsibility from AB, because what the hell are you doing, bro? It's like the man lives to give his money away either through gambling or through shit like this. I think we've exhausted all the talking points when it comes to the stupid shit that he's been doing on camera. On camera the past couple of months. You can only imagine what's going on off camera. And I think we'll be beating a dead horse to say that behavior is bad. We all know the behavior is bad.
I've done.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You might want to check your volume because you sound real low. That's why I didn't hear you when you were speaking.
Interesting. I didn't change anything. Does it still sound like that?
You sound, maybe you're, I hear you a little bit more now. Try it, say something.
Hello?
All right, there you go. There you go.
Okay, cool. I was just going to say that was a lot of accusations by the woman. That was a laundry list. I'm inclined to believe her story because she has so much detail.
I've done at least 5 different videos on this brother. In one video, there's a 18, 19-year-old-ish, maybe she's 17, and they're sitting in a similar setting as this downstairs. She's sitting next to him. She gets up, walks away, and he's trying to get her attention. He takes his hand and he brushes her on her backside. That young lady basically absolved him. They were on his helmet about that. Then there was other clips of him forcefully putting himself in positions to dance with these young girls at these live stream events that they have, and they looked uncomfortable as hell. Then there was another video where him and Amber Rose had an exchange because he felt like he was being rejected by her. I openly said this. There's too many layers for me to address. One with Kick, the others with the people that he surrounds himself with, the way that they're using him, his lack of maturity and understanding the position that he's in, the fact that he's been given so many chances, so many opportunities to get his stuff in order, but he keeps falling back in the same patterns over and over again. That's why I did so many different videos on it, because I'm trying to really drive it home that this is deeper than what people understand it is. And I know a lot of folks on one of my videos, they said this has nothing to do with SA, or you clearly didn't watch the video. even if it wasn't necessarily directed towards that. If you look at his history, all you got to do is Google it. This isn't the first time he's been accused of this stuff. And my thing is, I'm angry. Well, I'm not angry. I'm disappointed in him, the people he surrounded himself around. I'm disappointed in these women. And I'm gonna land there, but it's absolutely disgusting to me that we keep going through this revolving door. Like, you know who you're dealing with. Don't act like you haven't seen the paper trail. You're not getting him help. And the women who are coming on this show, you want to make an argument for them, but they're willingly participating in the activities that come with being in front of that camera and a part of that crew. What are we talking about? Are you?
Oh, my bad. I was waiting for the little microphone to show up. I'm inclined to believe that he would do these things because you can see a lot of it in his behavior just from that video, and then also from that woman's account of all of their encounters. He, just based on his willingness to take a pot of ice water and throw it at somebody because they're angry. I honestly thought it was a joke at the beginning, and I was like, what? He's getting sued for this? And then I heard her account and I was like, oh, I see. He's the impulsive type that he's like the vengeance type, where he'll want to get back at people who hurt him. And usually people that are aggressive in that way can also be a lot more pushy or aggressive in other areas. So it would make sense that he would be demanding of something that he wants, while disregarding the desires of that other person. He acted selfishly, so it makes sense that he would treat other people selfishly as well.
I'm wondering when people are going to learn. So all right. On one hand, you have a streaming platform that appears to not necessarily care too much about how far people are willing to go for entertainment. I have Kick. I don't use it for anything other than the podcast. Everything that I've seen, usually if it comes with gaming, that's one thing. If you're doing what they do, I don't understand the purpose of it. I don't see what's so engaging about it. It's a bunch of grown men, usually half drunk, high, around a bunch of teenagers that probably just turned 18, 19, 20, partying, running around a house. I never understood how these platforms will push a narrative that puts certain people in a negative light, but try to champion behind it as if it's really positive. You know his background. He's not handing out flowers and going to charities and recording himself helping out the homeless every day. he's being very belligerent, obnoxious, pushy, like you said, aggressive. The people that you got around you that you streaming with, they looking at you like you're an idiot. They know that you have a destructive nature to you. So they let you run loose because it's good for ratings, it's good for the algorithm. People want to watch you make a fool of yourself, which is embarrassing as a black man. It's so many things that's wrong with this. And I suggested highly that he get away from these people. He get sober. He get around folks who are accountability partners that's going to tell him about himself. Get him some therapy. Get off of social media. Because you have some stuff going on internally that is bleeding out into your personal life and it's costing you hundreds and thousands of dollars. And at some point, these patterns that we keep on seeing is going to eventually lead him to a permanent spot in prison or worse. The guys that's around you, they know your criminal history. They know what type of soul you are. You could be a decent person as long as you don't have people around you hyping you up to do stupid stuff. Maybe they encourage it. Maybe they don't facilitate the type of environment that's going to breed that championship boxer that we once know. And they just want to use you for your name. You're one of the biggest parts of the stream. Without you, Dean the Great, Ray J and them, their content, it doesn't survive as well as it does. You monopolizing off of someone who is clearly going through a lot of stuff. And then these women to play victim. You're not going to really get too much sympathy from me other than you don't deserve to be treated that way, but you also knew what you was going into as well. I will never believe that any of these people that sign up for these shows are oblivious to what they're about to walk into, unless you know that you're eventually going to get licked. And yeah.
It's funny when you mentioned the like he would have to get therapy, he would have to get himself off social media, he'd have to like start working on himself. And people like that generally aren't the type of people to actually even acknowledge their faults enough to like, because that's literally the first step in changing your behavior, is to recognize that you do the thing, because you have to be aware of it and willing to work on it for you to be able to make any progress at all. And typically men that kind of show, obviously we're only getting snippets of his personality, but just from what I've heard from other people and reading online, he thinks very much, as I said earlier, selfishly. And people who are, I honestly might go as far as saying he's narcissistic, or potentially one of the other dark triad, or not dark triad. I forgot what it's called, but one of the negative traits that people can have on the psychology spectrum of personality. He generally, people that are in the category that I suspect he's in are very like self-serving, and they feel like other people owe them things. They feel like they are superior just because whatever they think their talent or special feature is. And yeah, and people like that who don't care about other people, who are willing to try and forcibly get what they want, they're going to be prone to that type of behavior. And as I said earlier, with such a detailed account from her that matches the type of behavior you'd expect from a person like him, it really tracks. And to be honest, I'm kind of surprised that it's just SA. I would have, some of that account, I would go as far as saying it was the R word. I obviously don't know how true the woman's side of the story is. There could be details left out or whatever. Not that I'm casting doubt on her story at all. But it seemed too honest to me to be a ploy by her just to get money. And as somebody, I don't remember if it was you or the person in the video, but you could genuinely tell that she was deeply uncomfortable, if not scared of him at certain points. So I think with his history and the bit that I saw, he's probably responsible for that type of situation. Also, just a side note, he looks so much older than I expected him to be. I had no idea he was in his 30s. I thought he was in his like late 40s, 50s, based on how he looks. So I'm like, this dude was stressed out. But then again, it could have just been that particular picture. But yeah, that was just a side note that I noticed.
It's more than stress. That brother done went through hell and been in all type of stuff. That's the way he looked. That comes with living a certain lifestyle. When you party too hard, when you stop training, when you start getting around folks that don't mean no good for you. Period. If you really dug and went through his entire track record, you could create I can't even think of the word. You could create a whole like category for what he is and probably have a better assessment of like what he got going on. Because I'm telling you, nobody in their right mind would look at the Surgeon General's warning on a pack of cigarettes and decide to still smoke the cigarette unless they were just that addicted to the cigarette. You know it's harmful. You know it can hurt you and harm you in so many ways. But because you need that fix and that hit, you'll go through with it anyway. And that's a part of the reason why this lawsuit is hilarious to me. Because for one, you left and came back multiple times. Very strategic, very foolish, but strategic, because you know that he's a crash out. So all you got to do is play the victim role, play the I'm a woman, I'm a little fragile, I'm fearful for my life, down to the stress. And then everybody's going to just automatically assume that because he already has a history of doing this to women, they're going to side with us automatically and believe it. I think it's tacky. I think it's corny. No, I don't condone SA. No, I don't condone rape. No, I don't condone men forcing themselves on women. But I have an issue with women using people's weaknesses to one up the next person so that they can come up off of that and then take the next steps into creating their own career off of it. That's dark. That's dirty. That's just wicked. And you're willingly putting your life in harm's way just so that you can get a paycheck. That's stupid. Nobody warned you. Nobody had a conversation with you before they invited you. Like, I don't know the process for how they bring these women on. Do you get a casting call? Do you reach out? How do you apply for stuff like that? And then I know there's NDAs and stuff like that because I hear them say this all the time. So did you understand what you were signing off on? Did y'all have that conversation? Did you know what you were going to be getting into? All of that factors into this. We talked about this a few months ago about traveling places with certain people. You're not just going to take any friend with you somewhere knowing that they're probably not going to be the best for that environment. You're going to go with that you can fully trust and rely on, that's going to be dependable. Why would you sign up to go on a platform like this knowing what you want? Nah, I'm not really with that, but I'm also not with his stuff either. That's why, like, all of this is just messy. All of this is for entertainment. All of this so that you could get the views and the likes. All is for drama. Every time you go in there and he start blah, blah, he's slurring, he walking around in his underwear, chasing Ray J around. These grown men doing all this weirdo stuff. It's like a live Love and Hip Hop with a bunch of dudes and a bunch of barely legal girls, just pretty much in a real world setting, doing absolutely nothing for real until the liquor comes in and people start to get drunk. And when people get drunk and they get out of hand with that drug or whatever, now the fun starts. Now the party starts. Now the viewers can get something to laugh at. Now the viewers got something to talk about. Congratulations, you done played yourself.
I've been looking up other stories about him, and yeah, he's something else. Apparently, his streaming platform partner is also part of this complaint, because they failed to remove content involving the woman. He also is accused of repeatedly and falsely telling the live stream audience that Saint had engaged in contact with multiple individuals. And where was the other one? He also, so he's claiming that this whole thing is a false allegation. He posted on Twitter or whatever it's called now, if these fake allegations go start all cause, oh my god, he's not very good at writing. People think I'm rich again and trying to get money from me. I will stop streaming today because none of this was going down when I was still just down and out and I was still behaving the same. So he's basically threatening to quit his streaming platform because he's like, it honestly feels like he's throwing a fit over this, where he's like, stop accusing me, I'm just gonna quit, like a pouty teenager. And I also find it ironic how he's saying, like, I was still behaving the same. And as I look back into his history, I'm like, yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that you've behaving the same. You've been treating women disrespectfully. You've been pressuring people into relationships. Into activities. She's not the first person that has come forward and said that it happened. It's just the first person that's suing for it. So yeah, he really seems like he's trying to dodge and just like brush it off. Oh, it's not that bad. Like, you don't know the story. And I think he's kind of expecting it to just go away. That he just has to convince people that he's a good guy and then they'll leave him alone. But obviously the law does not work that way, so he's not going to be getting off that easy. But yeah, he has had a lot of these issues before. In 2016, he was charged with battery for choking a waitress at a nightclub. 2017, he failed to appear in court for a previous arrest. He also had, he became aggressive and basically hit a woman in public, or a guy in public. And then he also, in 2018, had a misdemeanor SA charge, or S battery. I don't know if they're the same or different. He also, in 2019, was issued a restraining order after making homophobic threats on social media. Also in 2019, just later in the year, he was ordered to pay over $830,000 for essaying a woman in a nightclub in June of 2018. And he also was jailed for a parole violation after failing to enroll in a court-mandated alcohol treatment. So clearly, he has a whole history of being uncooperative with the law, and an alcohol problem, obviously, because he's being forced to do a treatment program. He's had multiple accounts of SA, and he also very clearly is not learning from any of this and is continuing to be aggressive towards women. So, yeah, he's definitely right when he says he hasn't changed.
I try to tell you, extensive list. That's why I don't buy anyone's story who says that they were victims. You're a victim that put yourself in the position to be a victim. Most people who are tourists and you go into a city that you've never been, you do research. And then you stick to your information. You don't deviate from it and start going off into areas that you didn't map out before you arrive to the destination at all. There's certain codes that you follow. Your friends, your family, somebody, they'll tell you, look, you want to go such and such? All right, well, we can do that, but stay away from this and this because, you've all had those conversations. Social media feeds off of negative and positive energy. Depending on your niche, this is what you're going to get. They use him for the negativity. The women, the men, the cameramen, everybody who gets paid off of him, everybody who streams with him, They get paid off of his antics. That's why nobody is judging it or really holding him accountable. If people actually held him accountable, he would be one lonely brother. The fact that he even still has the type of money he has to be able to confiscate for his foolishness is absolutely astounding to me. I don't understand. I don't have too much respect for a brother who would throw me in front of a TV screen to make a fool of myself, and then I'm just going to believe that you love and you care about me, but you got me looking wired. I'm looking all types of stupid in front of all these people. I look like a monster. Y'all laughing at me. But hey, you got a paycheck. Hey, somebody is sponsoring it. You just got kick sued. Dean the Great ain't got the greatest history neither. Like, where are your priorities? And let's go back to another conversation we had about adults who come into a certain level of wealth that they don't know how to act anymore. They don't know what to do with themselves. Adrien Broner had a pattern of being arrogant and cocky when he was boxing. He got humbled. Career just halted. Went into a whole stupor. Now you have a chain of events that still ain't woke him up. It's not a lot of people that's going to be able to come back from the type of damage that you've caused, and you still out here making a fool of yourself. And these little girls, y'all keep on looking at Kick and Twitch and watching certain platforms, and you want to put yourself in a position to get your music out there. Maybe you want to be a model. I don't know, whatever it is your heart desires. You looking at these people half naked, rude, aggressive, ratchet, hood, whatever. The culture modified what it's supposed to look like. Now y'all want to be a part of it. And that means that you got to sacrifice your soul, your dignity, to do these streams and to be collaborators, also that you can call yourself an influencer. Like what are we really talking here? Adrien Broner should be a spokesperson for what not to do. He should be talking about, look at what happened to me. This is not the path that you want to go down. Let me revisit my old habits, fix them, and then document it. Be transparent about how it destroyed me, and then present it to the people who are struggling like I did or potential to, so that they don't end up like I was. Instead, no, you want to stay stuck. You want to continue to be what you were. The exact same person that's got you arrested, got you sued, got you looking all kinds of crazy out here. You want to stay in this, and everybody that's around you is looking at you like you're an idiot, a whole fool, but you consider them your friends. I think we need to start redefining what friendship looks like, because this ain't it.
So I was looking it up, and both of them have armed robbery charges in different cases. For Dean the Great, this one's more recent. In May of this year, he was booked into jail on an attempted strong arm robbery charge because he basically he kicked a woman off his yacht, and he was trying to grab her so he could take her phone from her, because I guess she was trying to record him for some reason. But he basically overtook her trying to get the phone and was grabbing at her and stuff like that. And then Broner, he also had he has assault and robbery, because he was at a bar and they were playing high stakes gambling, and he lost money, and when the person left, he attacked the guy and took his money back. So yeah, these are fantastic characters. They definitely, for Broner, that was in 2020. So he's continued to do more over time. We're in 2026. He has 6 more years of other behaviors that really showcase that impulsive and aggressive tendencies. He seems to have very little respect for women, and whenever I think of people being comfortable grabbing another person, it always makes me assume that they are when it's with women, that they're misogynistic, that they see them as property, that they have the right to manhandle the woman just because they see themselves as superior. I obviously don't know if it's true, but he is steeped in a culture that reinforces that type of thinking. The macho male industry. So I would not be surprised if he held those types of beliefs and views. So I feel like he would be highly likely to commit more crimes in the future. So I hope they're able to get a fit punishment for him. Obviously, in the case of him actually having done it, obviously we don't know the whole situation, but based on his history, based on his past crimes, based on his behavior, the video, I'm pretty confident that he did what he did. And I would not be surprised if there were other stories that just have not come to light yet, similar to what's going on in the country overall with politicians and clergy, churches, stuff like that. I think it's more pervasive than we think. And he seems to be part of that mentality of the types of people that are willing to commit these acts against other people.
I would love to see somebody sit down with him and give him a psych examination. I don't want to throw around certain terms that aren't directly or officially connected to these people. Because when you said misogynistic by definition is the hatred of women. I don't think he hates women. I think he has impulses. He has traumas. He has this spirit and this thing about him, like a lot of politicians you alluded to, a lot of pretty much all the men that we see in the government and in Hollywood that move around like that without being loud and seen. Case in point, the guy that was accused of grooming my guy from Little Rascals, or the guy that was accused of doing things to my man from not Sam and Cat. It's a Nickelodeon show. It's a lot of these dudes, man. It's a deeper seated issue. I would like to see an official diagnosis with some folks, though. I just say that. This is. I'm trying to really be careful with how, because I'm scattered. I see millionaires and wealthy people. I observe how they spend their money, what they do on their leisure time, because they put it out here for us publicly. I'm trying to see what kind of character they have. And when you get this case study, it grounds you and makes you humble, makes you realize what's important, what's valuable, what's invaluable, who to stay away from, who to have around you, what substance abuse can do to you, what having a certain lifestyle can do to you, what yes men can do to you, what happens when you embrace the worldly desires, what happens when you embrace your possessions. You went through a plethora of crime. You done spent thousands of dollars paying court fees and all type of stuff. You should know better than anybody. Nobody is coming to save you. Your money is only going to get you but so far. I think that every single person that come around after you make a significant amount of money, they're not your friends. They will never be your friends. They will never like you. They all want something from you. That's where I'm at with it. I will be the loneliest millionaire on the face of the earth because I will never talk to a single soul. Maybe 3 to 4 people, if that. But you would never hear from me. I'm not hanging out with you. We're not going on trips, none of that. Social media has shown me how humans move. Social media cases like this have shown me what being greedy and prideful can do to your soul, how it can change you as a person. Forget about the other stuff. Him, Dean the Great, how they carry themselves, how people look at their content as a source of entertainment. I could never, ever, because it's detrimental to the community. It don't help us. It don't raise awareness of nothing. And the sad part is people still watch it. Yeah, everybody here, if you didn't know before, you know their history. You know exactly how they are. Then if you don't watch it, you know people who watch them faithfully. I can't get down like that. I can't support that. It's all messed up, all of it. As much as y'all try to filter everybody on social media, specific people, if I said half the stuff that they say and do on YouTube or one of these, I would get kicked off. I would be suspended. It's too much. It's way too much. And I think the only way he's going to get humbled and people like him are going to get humbled is if they lose everything. They got to lose everything and find out who their real friends really were before they get that wake up call. I don't think he's going to change. Now, I've been rooting for him. I've gone on record and say I want to see him better. I've seen clips of him in the ring training and dropping weight. I've seen it. That was what, a day ago. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then today I wake up, oh, he getting sued for 830 something. How we go from, oh, he's getting better to now he got a law, another what? Where Ray J, where you at? Charleston White even said he needed to get away from them people. Nobody listens anymore. And they're going to continue to take you down this path, man, until there's nothing left. Dean the Great wants what you have. These people that's coming around you, they want what you have. When Amber Rose pulled up on that show, she wanted visibility. She wanted to be back in the algorithm. People want something. They don't just come around just because of the kindness of their heart. If I ain't seen you in months, weeks, years, and you just randomly start saying, hey, I would like to do this with you, and do what? Nope. Or if the only time we associate is when we're doing business, but every time we're doing business, I have to be a certain way in order for you to be around. No. Why do you like it or prefer it when I'm not, when I'm drunk? Why do you only want to be around me when I'm acting an ass or when I'm putting on a show? Y'all kicked what's her name? I just did a reaction on her. Krishan Rock. You kicked Krishan Rock off y'all stream. She came there to train with him. Dean the Great was jealous of her, kicked her off. She was I think all of that stuff is a whole circus. All of it. Don't matter how you look at it. Is it strategy to get more visibility? Yes. The girls who sign up for the platform, they know what they're getting into. You're not going to convince me that they don't know. They get more than what they bargained for. Now they have the opportunity to take everything that he has, go on a media run. Now they have their own brand, and it's at the expense of a guy who don't understand that, brother, you are your own self-destruction. Are you?
First, I just, you know how I am with words. I looked it up just out of curiosity, and basically misogyny is any violence against women, which includes domestic violence and misogynistic terrorism and femicide. It also operates through sexual harassment, coercion, and psychological techniques aimed at controlling women, and in society, legal or social exclusion from full citizenship. So I think he fits the bill for misogyny with his type of behavior. And yeah, it's sickening to see how much of a trend it is in society, and it feels like we're swinging back. Like, I don't know if it was just because of my age and demographic I was hanging out with, but back in high school and college, like, it felt like our country was going in a different direction. Like, it felt as if we were actually making progress, that everyone was getting rights who have been fighting for rights for a long time. And it seemed like women were becoming more equalized in society. But now, especially with what's going on throughout the country, it's like we're taking huge steps backwards, and we're still giving, I mean, obviously we need to talk about it because you can't brush this stuff under the rug, but the fact that you can even get famous off of this behavior, like you could be on TV and people will interview you to talk about what happened and get your side of the story. So it's definitely a cultural type thing. And I think it's highly attached to superiority, which is why we see not only politicians, people, clergy members, celebrities, because these demographics of people crave power and crave attention. And a lot of them don't have emotional regulation either, because generally the personalities that get you to the top like that are less desirable than people who are typically content with life and aren't chasing things that are superficial. So, and when you're in positions of power, you're more likely to have that sense of superiority and power over other people and see people as lesser because, oh, well, I worked for my success, but you're just being lazy. You're just untalented. And I think that's why it's so pervasive in this country. It's been hidden for a long time, obviously, but it's obvious it's obvious now that culture of hating women and taking advantage of women and seeing them as usable objects is still running deep underneath the surface. We still live in a society that's kind of chomping at the bit to take away rights from women, as we've seen with this whole situation. So he is obviously a criminal, honestly, just based on what I've seen. I believe her story. I believe that he is capable of committing these crimes. Like, it's not like this is the first accusation he's ever faced and it just like came out of the woodworks and she's trying to get money. Like, it really does not seem like that situation. It genuinely seems like she experienced that behavior. And I just hope that they don't give him the celebrity treatment and put him in a soft prison or give him a softer sentence, which can happen. We've seen it before with powerful people. They're able to kind of finagle the law and get at least a reprieve from the traditional prison experience. So I really, really hope that this woman is able to see the justice that she deserves, given this situation, assuming that it's true. But overall, just generally across the board, my heart goes out to anybody experiencing domestic violence or has had encounters with men that were aggressive or worse. I always like to put this stuff out there for people that need it. The hotline for domestic violence, if you're experiencing a situation like that, is here, I'll put it in the chat, but I'll also say it: 1-800 799-7233. So if you are experiencing a situation like that and you're trying to find help, it's a great resource, and they can connect you to the right people and kind of guide you on what to do. So for anyone going through that situation, I urge you guys to get help. You don't deserve to be treated that way. Just for all the ladies out there.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's not going to be a criminal case. It's really about the money, unless there's an update. Look, man, we all trying to come up. Everybody trying to make a decent living or have a decent lifestyle. Nobody's trying to be out here struggling like that. But not at the expense of sacrificing your body for it at all. Don't sign on a dotted line. Do not sign on a dotted line. Do not give your soul away. We romanticize celebrity status, what it would look like, what it would feel like to travel the world, to rub elbows with the established ones, to be able to walk through them doors, to see through them windows, to take all these fancy pictures and wear all of these fancy clothes and have to worry about money again. And we look up to these boxers and these athletes, and they're not your heroes. They are human beings with flaws like us. They are not influencers. They are not leaders. Not all of them. You have a small few. This greed, this desire for the quick come up is going to get a lot of people hurt. Love yourself a little bit more, ladies. Stop listening to Young Miami. Stop listening to these artists who promote being ratchet, being hood, being loud. It's time to reshape your own destiny. Stop trying to mimic someone else's portfolio. You don't know how they got there. You don't know what type of toll it took on them to get what they got. Yeah, they probably got the fame and the wealth and the admiration, but you're not with them at night when they go to bed. And you're not there when they have to make compromising decisions, them uncomfortable ones that they gotta lay with the rest of their life. Yeah, they just bought a $40,000 watch. What they have to do for it? What type of humiliation did they have to go through and suffer for it? Everything is not worth putting yourself in harm's way. And that doesn't negate what he did being wrong or not. But you don't put yourself in those positions for it either. Period. The destination that he's on, he keep playing around with it, he gonna find out, and he not gonna like it. I guarantee you, Dean and all of them, they're not gonna be there for him. But when y'all have these conversations about being boss babes, independent, and really had the conversation. What are you trying to build off of? What are you really trying to accomplish? what do you want to be remembered for? Your value tied and connected to your body parts. But this system that I keep observing put a trophy next to insert. Put a trophy next to insert. Pretty face here, pretty face there. Let's design the decor in the background so it gives the illusion of being a part of something bigger than us. So that by default makes us bigger than this and that. But all you're really doing is making matters worse in the future. And it's just subtle. So much, like, I don't know. This is one of the reasons why I done did multiple videos on it, because like you really got to keep on repeating this. Every action has a reaction. Every decision has consequences to it, and on both sides, you got to be careful with who you surround yourself with, who you're getting your love advice from, your life advice from, who you're looking to as a mentor. All that play a role in this stuff. I hope justice is served. I hope this is a template for everybody involved to learn from it. For anybody who wants to get into these streamer university platforms and you want to get on Kick and you want to be collaborating with these people, look at this case study here. Go back, do research on all the stories that tie in with people wanting to with other people, and ask yourself, is it really worth the headache? Find your own way. Don't live through someone else's. Any final words before we close out?
I mean, I mostly said it all, but I just really hope he gets the justice that she deserves. And I doubt it, but I hope he learns and refrains from being a criminal into the future.
Shout outs to you. Shout outs to everybody who pulled up this evening. I hope y'all have a blessed weekend. I will be back tomorrow, Lord willing. Do me a solid before you go, if you don't mind.
What's the goddamn button?
Peace.
Have a good weekend. See you Monday.
The flow insane. Take my spot, so the range. Shoot my shot with perfect aim. 3rd degree, that perfect flame. Ain't no sleep, that's the game. Oh, so southern, that's the slang. When they see me, that's the main. Chasing checks and fly like planes. Big old stick, I bought a cane.